a lot.
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
Mr Speaker, well, the National-led government has a really strong plan and a busy agenda to encourage investment, strengthen our economy and boost jobs for Kiwis. And that is the overarching reason that we get up in the morning on this side of the House. On the other side of the House, it would appear that they get up knowing that they are led by a man wearing a toga sitting on a toilet.
That's right.
A man wearing a toga sitting on a toilet.
He's about business.
That must really inspire them to get up in the morning. I have a message for Ms Annette King before she leaves the House, and that is simply this. That when the member... My apologies, you're right, I can't say that. Nevertheless, I will put on Hansard a correction to the statement that Ms King made in a newspaper. Ms King will need to know that when she deals in the health sector, no one asks for anything more than the facts. And there are no cuts scheduled for Ashburton Hospital, and she has worried the people of Mid-Canterbury. But when they read in the paper tomorrow there was no substance to her claim, they will know that this is yet again just a Labour Party member who is scaremongering and cannot come up with anything concrete. In Ashburton, the earthquakes struck there too. We have lost the theatres in Ashburton. They will be rebuilt. There has been an absolute undertaking they will be rebuilt. Yes, certainly, the provision of services at the moment is different, but there are no planned cuts to services, and Ms King should start out as she means to continue with the facts. But back to the national government. We are faced across New Zealand with a wide divergence of what the communities are having to deal with. In Christchurch, it's the effect of the earthquakes. And I'm going to talk about the women in Christchurch or in Canterbury in a moment. But also in Canterbury, in South Canterbury, we have just recorded in the last year 4.4% growth. Now that's phenomenal, and in part that is on the back of the Canterbury earthquakes. But I want to go into my message for the women of Canterbury, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about apprenticeships as well. Right now, there are many jobs available. Right now, there are also many women in Canterbury who are no longer in the jobs of caring, retail and hospitality that they once were. I want to exhort them to think about their skills in a different way, think outside the box, because if they used to manage a small business, then they can go back and they can manage a small business again. But it might be a small construction business, the administration or project management. So I exhort the women of Canterbury to think differently about their skills and to look through the paper, and instead of discounting the advertisements and saying that's for a man, think again. Actually apply for those jobs. But we're actually making it quite a lot easier in terms of apprenticeships as well. 5 new vocational pathways that's clearly showing young people what sort of subjects they should take to prepare them for their future. From the 1st of January next year, we'll combine modern apprenticeships and other apprenticeship-style training under an expanded and improved scheme called New Zealand Apprenticeships. Now, regardless of their age, the new apprenticeships will provide the same level of support and subsidy for all apprentices. And I think that's fabulous because, once again, I exhort the people of Canterbury who are no longer in the jobs they once had because of the earthquakes to consider this opportunity. The trades are crying out for people who will take on a new skill, and I certainly encourage them to do. We already have 4,000 places available in trades and service academies and around 8,700 youth guarantee places. These are the pathways into work. This is the future for people. This is a future beyond relying on the minimum wage. This is a future where they have skills and they are rewarded with employment with those skills. They certainly have a much brighter future under this government. But we're also boosting the overall apprenticeship funding. The current top-up for modern apprentices will be redistributed across all New Zealand apprentices. This, in addition, there will be around an extra $12 million in the first year. That will rise over time. So this government is putting an awful lot of emphasis onto lifting the profile and participation in apprenticeships. We're also giving the first 10,000 new apprentices who enrol after the 1st of April this year $1,000 towards their tools and off-course costs, or $2,000 dollars if they're actually in a priority construction trade. There is a lot happening in this space, a much brighter future for New Zealanders under this national government, working hard to achieve it.
Well done.
Dr. David Clark.
Mr. Speaker, my colleague Annette King has talked about the terrible tragedy